Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for always supporting me. I really appreciate the support because si rahisi mtu kukaa chini kusikiza whatever you have. Thank you. He was found in a 30 foot well ni kisima, si ndio? Alipatikana hapo, a 2-month-old baby amekuwa ndani ya 2 crates of milk, amefunikwa na some duct tape. Niwaambia duct tape ni sellotape ya black isitusumbue. So alipatikana hapo ndani, and ungetaka kujua alijipata aje hapo ndani. Let's get to the story for today. Daniel Groves was born to his parents by the name Jessica and Daniel Groves. But before we tuende kwa Daniel Groves, let's talk about these parents. Daniel Groves and Jessica Groves inasemekana walikuwa na addicts wa meth and something else, like they were in on drugs kabisa, and they had a 15-year-old son by the name Daniel Groves Jr. And hii time yote inasemekana that at a point Daniel Groves the junior now mtoto, the 15-year-old, confront mamake because notice mamake somehow ni kama tumbo yake ina swell. Tuseme tu because that's the description he gave. Aliona ni kama tumbo ya mamake inafura kidogo, so understand, but if a 15-year-old si mtoto mdogo. So alienda akamconfront, akamuuliza, "Hey mom, kwani uko na mimba?" So the mother said yes. And I don't really know because wanasema that Daniel Groves, now the husband, who they were married for 20 plus years, aku notice this pregnancy. Guys, hata sielewi how come, like hazi yako ajui uko na mimba, but a 15-year-old anaweza detect mimba, but anyway. So wakati alimuuliza and akamwambia kona mimba and all that, it is said that the way the husband was talking about the pregnancy, hakujua that the wife alikuwa na Jessica now alikuwa na mimba. And it is very, sijui nisema aje, inakaa tu fishi venye anasema hakuwa anajua, but si yeye anasema hakujua, si hakujua basi. So story mingi haikujulikana hii time yote during the pregnancy nini, but it is said that hakuenda kwa antenatal care. Guys, sisi wa mama, mimi ni mama tunaendanga clinics, and huko ndo tunaenda kujua umebeba mtoto mgani, maybe kama mtoto ako na shida nini, everything that you need to do to know about the child. It's not even about you, it's about what you are carrying. And akuenda, and I understand hiyo part because kama uko on drugs, first of all, if you are a drunkard, wacha hata hizi meth, sijui bangi, sijui nini, hizi vitu zote, heroin, achana nazo kando. Kama we ni addict wa pombe peke yake, and you keep waking up, ama you are constantly on hangover, kuna vitu mob huwezi fanya, hata kukula uwezi. Yani si tu uwezi, you don't have the energy to cook and eat, you cannot eat healthy, and maybe that's why watu kuna hangovers in the first place, because mtu anakula poa na kunywa pombe, as much as ni hangover, it cannot hit you hard. So mama na mbaba wote, the mother, the wife and the husband were addicts of hard drugs. Wachana na hizi pombe sijui nini, hata bangi siku hizi si hard. Bangi kuna watu wanakunywa soda. Anyways, sasa hii time yote walikuwa tu hivyo madrug nini. I really pity this 15-year-old because I believe mtoto akiwa hiyo age from sema 13 ama 12 to 20, this is when you really have to, be bumper to bumper na mtoto wako, because a lot of things happen at that moment or at that age. Kwa sasa kwa hii time yote not really much is said after hapo. It is said now ilifika point ya kuzaa, and the lady Jessica akaenda hosi, and kuenda hosi it was really, sijui niseme ilikuwa aje, it was a very funny sijui niseme occasion ama nini, because vitu zenye alikuwa nafanya, it's not the things that us women who give birth do. Because if you find me, nobody plans to go and give birth labor. Akunanga jokes, you are screaming your lungs out, but this lady was not screaming, and she was not reacting like somebody who is in pain. She was not reacting like somebody who was really expecting a child. As much as uko na ball unaenda kuzaa, kuna hiyo pain, it's normal. Hata kwa Biblia imeandikwa it's a normal thing. But sasa mama, first of all, hakuwa anaonyesha ako na pain, hakuwa anaonyesha hata anataka kumit mtoi wake. Remember hakuna antenatal alikuwa anaenda, so hata agenda ya mtoto hajui. In fact, all we can say is that she didn't care what she was carrying. Hata she didn't care if atatoka live, atafanya, in short she didn't care. So amefika hosi, ako pale, badala hata scream ama nini, you're screaming not because you don't want the baby, you're screaming because of the pain, but mama yako zile za it's coming, yani it's kama a monster anataka kuzaa monster imtoke tu, yani that's the way alikuwa naiweka. And it was really disturbing because even the nurses when you testify walisema they did not really know what to do with her, because first of all she didn't go for antenatal, na wakati alikuwa anakuwa questioned about pregnancy yake, because most of the time if you have not gone to this antenatal care nini hizi vitu zote, ma test and all that, when you are in labor itabidi tu but easy test lazima ufanye. So I think that's what she went through, because she had to go through hizo test ndio wajue what's up, ni nini amebeba, nini hajabeba, and then yeye mwenyewe alikuwa naka kuna shida na yeye, so they didn't want to proceed na kumzalisha na when they don't know akuna kashida kagani. So wakati walikuwa najaribu kumwambia nini apeane urine for testing, apeane blood for testing, she refused. Like hakuna kitu alikuwa anafanya, she was just there. And then after a short while she gave birth. And guys, yani hapa ndio vitu zingine sijui like, because it was so bad, it was so brutal. Acha tu niseme jina, because huyu ni mtoto amekuja, and most of the time ladies mnaweza agree na mimi, most of the time when umeumwa umezaa, the moment you see your baby you forget, like it's an instant thing, you just forget what you've been feeling. Unabeba mtoto wako and it's gone, like the pain is gone, unaona mtoi wako, you are happy, you know, it's like a phase that just passed, and it's not a phase that unaweza sema uangalie back useme, you know, you hate the feeling hakuna mtu achuki hiyo feeling, but we love the product, we love, you know, 1 + 1 = 2. So your pain is used to the baby, you see the baby, you forget what you felt. So mama hakuwa na feel hivyo, alikuwa like bado akona hiyo hatred towards this baby. And the nurses when walikuwa namsaidia, they testified, wakasema wakati mtoto alizaliwa alikuwa dusky, yani kuna tu venye alikuwa anakaa, it's not normal for other kids. Alafu alikuwa under the influence of something. There was just something that was wrong with this child. Na huyu mtoto wakati alitolewa, most of the time ukizaa unachukuliwa mtoto na ikiwa kwa kifua, hiyo contact, I don't know what it does, but there's a reason why they do that. I think so. Mimi si daktari akona hapa hivi atatuambia, I don't know, but mimi hiyo time nimezaa nimefanyiwa hivyo, but I don't know why they do it, but si mtaalamu akikwambia fanya unafanya. So hiyo time wakati amekewa mtoto alionyesha hiyo disconnect, akuonyesha hiyo feeling ya I'm happy to receive my child, I'm happy and nini, akuonyesha hiyo happiness. So because the child alikuwa anaonyesha hizo signs za kukuanda the influence of some drugs, tuseme tu he was born an addict, acha tu tuseme hivyo. So hiyo wakati akachukuliwa tu NICU, which was it's a newborn intensive care unit, akapelekwa huko kuangaliwa and all that. So huko ndiye alikuwa anapatiwa hizo a lot of things, hizo wana compress maziwa, wanampelekea, you can imagine compressing, inaitwa ku compress hiyo kufinya and all that. Mimi by this sijui sijajipata. So but there are people who do that, even if see ati mtoto akona issue, hata wako home they do that, but I'm yet to know if I can do it, sijaifanya. Sasa hii time mtoi ako NICU, anakuwa taken care of there. One of the nurses alisema that wakati this one time mtoto alikuwa at least better, akachukuliwa aletwe kwa wazazi wake, at least hiyo meet the child, because wako wamemeet before, not before, from the time alikuwa born. Lakini wakati alimleta, this woman and the husband didn't seem like they were happy to see the child, because now the woman Jessica now ni kama aliwaambia muwekele pale, unajua, it's like you know, she was not ready to even see the child, despite the fact that alikuwa amekaa kwa NICU for I think a day or two, hakuwa ready kummeet bado. So wakati wakamweka watoto akaweka mtoto hapo, and the nurse said that she felt really bad for this child because he was already unwanted at that point, because it was clear hakuna mtu anataka huyo mtoto. And hapo sasa kwa hiyo harakati and all that, remember huyu mama alikuwa shapimwa because alifosiwa kutoa urine and all that ikuwe tested before azae, because he had to be forced, because pia the hospital had to guard themselves, because wakifanya kitu yenye wafai kufanya, maybe mtoto akufe, huyu mama akufe, it will be upon the, yani it will be watakuwa charged on it. So wakati walijua ni addict, walijaribu pia kumsaidia, but sasa huyu mzee, the husband Daniel, pia yeye alikuwa tested, but alipatikana ako negative of meth, but the lady alipatikana ako positive. So hii part ya huyu mwanaume kukua negative, hold it, ishikile tu mahali uweka hapo, tunarudi ifunge tu weke hapo tuendelee na story. Sasa wakakuwa hawakuwa discharged. What happened, the Child Protective Services, huko states wako na hiyo, sijui kama Kenya tuko na such things, but hata sidhani kuna reason tuko nao, because the rate at which hiyo farm ama ni sijui niite aje, the rate at which fail those children, I don't even see the reason we should adapt such kind of sijui ni an institution or something, because it is failing millions and millions of children. Like I don't think kuna part nimeona wamehandle watoto vizuri ama wamefanya kitu ikasaidia mtoto. Most of them they're just destroying those kids from worst to kuna worst, whatever. They're doing the worst. So not huyu, but the Child Protective Services wakaanza kutafutia mtoto an adoption, kitu kama child care, mtu wa take care of this child atoke kwa hiyo phase ya addiction ndio arudi to normal, because these parents were not in the position to do that, because now the mother alikuwa supposed kuenda to some kind of a rehabilitation institute, akwe rehabilitated before apatiwe mtoto, and the father alikuwa test negative, but bado hawakuwa wamemapprove kwenda na mtoto. So they came to this woman who went by the name Miss Bowling. So Miss Bowling alipigiwa, it is said that alikuwa mwalimu for 18 years, and at this time it is said that Miss Bowling alikuwa na an older kid, not a kid but a son, who was 20 something years, who was in college, and alikuwa mwalimu for 18 years, and she was 41. So it means alikuwa mwalimu since maybe 23 hapo. So huyu ni mtu amekaa kwa institution ya shule, anajua the kind of kids, because hapo ndio watu wana receive different kind of children. I think alikuwa receive different kids, na alikuwa amejua hizi stories addiction and all that, despite the fact that walikuwa amesema that hakukuwa amewahi deal na mtoto ako na addiction. So when she was called and asked if she could take care of this child, akasema I can. So Miss Bowling akasema she called her friends and family, akawambia if she can get blankets, diapers, baby coat, vitu tu mtoto anahitaji. And Miss Bowling anasema it took only one day for her to get everything that Dylan Grooves needed. Nimewambia mtoto anaitwa Dylan Grooves. Sorry, nimewambia sasa. So each time, like mama sasa, the teacher Miss Bowling collect everything that this child needs, ameka kwa nyumba ready for this child. Imagine this woman, yeye ashamaliza kulea, but she's ready to take care of this child, mwenye si child peke yake, on top of it ni addict, and this parent there ameamua kukua addict, na on top of it ataki mtoto wake, because now the nurses walikuwa kitestify wakisema yes, she's not the only person mwenye amekuja hosi na kaza mdoto. Hey akaza mtoto addict, si yeye peke yake. But now the problem was ni yeye peke yake washaiona mwenye ameza mtoto na amemkataa. Issue ilikuwa kukataa. They were ready to take care of the child as far as your addiction is concerned. But kitu ilikuwa inauma most of the nurses is the fact that hakuwa anataka huyu mtoto. That was where the brutal part was, tuseme hivyo. So it said that huyu Andrea Bowling akakuja kuchukua mtoto. It was on I think on a Wednesday 6 jioni akakuja, but they told her because ajai deal na mtoto ako addict, wampeleke through, you know, through some teachings on how to do it, and alienda aka training kidogo akapatiwa mtoto. At this point huyu Dylan Groves alikuwa ameshaka hosi 5 days. He was born on 10th January of 2019. But 5 days later, 5 days alikuwa kwa hiyo intensive care unit for kids for 5 days. Then the 5th day ndio Andrea Bowling alimpeleka home, and kumpeleka home, she said that it was not really easy to take care of him because alikuwa like sweating. Hizo tu, I think it was effects za hiyo addiction. Alikuwa na sweat profusely like 24 hours. Yetu alikuwa na sweat. Mtoto anakipa kijak, akishtuka, yani alikuwa anafanya vitu zingine zenye not a normal child does. And remember huyu mwanamke alikuwa amezaa like ages back. Alikuwa amekaa sana bila take care of a child. For you to take yourself back to square zero to take care of a child who is not yours and who is an addict, it requires a heart. Trust me, it requires a heart. Because I think the group's families were na relatives, but they didn't do that. She had to do that for that child. So tunaweza tu sema she had a big heart. So and take care of this child and all that, but it is said that a week, remember alikuwa akae na mtoto for a certain duration, equal like forever or maybe something that is permanent. But it is said that within a week or maybe 5 days, the Child Protective Services had arranged a meeting of Dylan Groves and the parents to meet, at least to kubond na mtoto and all that. So when these parents came to see Dylan Groves in kwa Bowlings, she showed so much concern with this kid. Yani concern fulani inakaa kama ni nitaisemaje, inakaa kama mtu kichwa yake work vizuri. Machalo sijui nini, yani anaonyesha hiyo weird interest kwa huyu mtoto. And this lady Bowlings, Andrea Bowling alisema she seemed like she was under the influence of something. Hakukuwa peke yake, kuna mtu hapo ndani alikuwa anatembea na yeye. So hii time Andrea Bowling akadecide kuwapea time wakae na mtoto wa bond wafanye nini, but Andrea was not okay because she felt like this woman was under the influence of something because of the way alikuwa react the moment aliona mtoto. So hiyo meeting ikaisha. Wakati meeting iliisha, the parents went na kachwa na Andrea Bowling. Andrea Bowling kept saying that Dylan Groves alikuwa anataka kushikwa at all time. The only time ungemweka chini ni time amelala. I can imagine that, you know, it's not easy. You holding a child every time he or she is awake, it's not easy. So I can imagine, like, it was hard, but she had the heart for that. So hii time parents wameenda, Andrea amebaki na mtoto. So 12 days later, she calls the Child Protective Services kuwauliza when the next visit is going to be so that she can prepare for it. And it is said that the Child Protective Services wakamwambia actually mtoto, it was like on a Friday. So she was told that mtoto atakujiwa on a Monday. You know, it was just abrupt. She was not ready. She had started bonding with this child. Yani alikuwa ashajikubali na situation ya mtoto. Like alikuwa hata amesema she was ready to take you know, another off or another leave from work just to concentrate on this child. So alishtuka akawauliza, don't you think it's very early? Don't you think we need to evaluate these parents to see if they're even worth taking care of a child? I'm ready to take care of this child as long as I can, but let's not give these people this child, because we don't even know if they've stopped, they have stopped doing what? Drugs. But now the Child Protective Service, whoever called from that farm, akasema the man Daniel Groves keep passing the test here, drugs, so they have no reason ya kumnyima mtoto. And they said that because the woman had an issue from the time she gave birth, she had tested positive, she had to go for a rehabilitation system, akwe taken care of, ndio aweze kukana mtoto. But in the meantime, wakati mtoto atachukuliwa, Jessica atakana huyu na Daniel Groves in the same house, because Dylan will be there. Hold that thought for me, because our watu wameoana for 20 plus years. I don't think there's a way you are going to tell them wasikae pamoja ama wakae pamoja. It's their decision. But that's what she was told. And remember, huyu mtoto, she was just helping. She had no, she had no right to like say sipeani mtoto and all that, atafanya Kenya ameambiwa, because I think there's some kind of fee yenye huwa wanapeana wale watu wanalea watoto wa adoption, or maybe not adoption but easy foster care. So if akatae kukana asema apeani mtoto, she had to do it using her own money, because the government was not going to pay for the upkeep of that child. So akapeana mtoto. On that day akaita, but they met with Daniel Groves, akampatia mtoto, akampatia blankets, akampatia baby cot, everything zenye alikuwa amepatiwa ile time yenye alicall friends and family wa come in wa assist with the baby items. So these items alimpatia because atapeleka wapi anyway. So wakachukua mtoto. And I think this is the worst mistake that the Child Protective Services ever did. And Andrea Bowling, when she was testifying in court, she cried like a baby. She was bitter. It was brutal for her, because she felt like if she did not give this child to these parents, maybe something as worse as this haingefanyika. But then angefanya nini? She had no power to like stand there and refuse to give out a child who was not even hers. So itaima mtoto amechukuliwa. And now that's when everything went blank. Nothing was, mtoto ni kama disappear from the face of the earth, because inasemekana, it's only 2 times that the Child Protective Services called. I think once they called and once they visited, but they never saw the child in person. But Daniel Groves told the Child Protective Services officer, akawambia, Daniel Groves is growing very well, and, kuna tamali use a term, it's like, I don't know, he's germinating or something. Yani, child is growing well. In short, that's what he was trying to say. But the Child Protective Services officer never saw this child. Hakuwa imuona na macho ya kuevaluate Kenya ameambiwa. But sasa, I think she took his word for it. Na akarudi. So this is the only 2 times yenye. The first time they called, the second time the officer visited, and everything vanished. Like, mtoto alivanish, the parents vanished, they were not picking the Child Protective Services calls, they were not opening doors for anybody. The officers came, now the Child Protective Services decided to call the police so that they can check on this child. But wakati walikuja kwa hii compound kuangalia mtoto, they found out that nobody was around. But wakati they were leaving, they saw Daniel Groves and Jessica Groves kwa kabush flani with kama kituka gari. They called it a 4-wheeler. Ebu muniambia hapa chini 4-wheeler ni nini? I don't know. They found like walikuwa in a place kama kabush hivi. And walikuwa, I don't know what they were doing there, but when they saw the police, they ran away with the 4-wheeler. Yani, it's like a cat and mouse. Na huu ni mtoto wako. Like, wewe, sijui, like, wacha tu nisiongee matope. So, hiyo times wametoroka, so they decided to go and get a search warrant. Wakati walipata, wakakuja on 10th June of 2019. It's said that in a 3 weeks gap from that time they took this child from Andrea Bowling to the time now the police are coming to kind of check on this child and breaking doors to find out what's up. So wakati wali break into the house, because they kicked it because nobody was opening the door, wakati walifungua, the first person they saw, it was Jessica Groves. Nakumbuka the Child Protective Services walikuwa wameambia Andrea Bowling that Daniel Groves was going to take the child, but Jessica Groves ataka kwa hiyo nyumba paka take care of her addiction. So that didn't really happen because she was there, and she even looked like she was under the influence of something, because the police were saying that when they asked her where Dylan Groves was like, I don't know. Yani it's like she's I don't know, yani kako na hangover ingine hata ajui mwenye anajibu kitu kaa hiyo. And she was taken in. Alafu huyu Daniel Groves wakati ali notice that the police are in, ali barricade himself, and there was a 6-hour standoff trying to get Daniel Groves out of the house. And the 6 hours later aliweza kushikwa, wakaenda interrogation and all that. Wakati walifika hizi interrogations, they really didn't say what had happened to this child. These police were telling them, help us help you, let us understand mtoto ako wapi, because both of you are here but we cannot see the child. Where is the child? And they didn't really want to give themselves out. And at this point, remember, nobody knows exactly what had happened to this child, so they were not going to like start accusing them of something unless they said something. So each time yote they were being interrogated, being pushed to the wall to say something. They did not say anything. And at a point, Daniel Groves said that one day he woke up, went to Dylan Groves' crib or court, and he found him dead. And they buried his body, like akaonyesha mali walimzika. And the police went there to kind of do a search and maybe retrieve the body and everything else. But wakati walifika pale, they didn't see anything. Like it was a lie. Let's just call it was a wild goose chase, because hakuna kitu ilikuwa hapo. There was no even sign of unajua, I don't know kama mna watching hizi vitu, but I watch them a lot. Like ukiona mali mtu amezikwa, you can always see maybe mchanga imewekwa hapo recently and all that, but there was nothing like that. So wakarudi back to the Dylan family, not Dylan but the Groves family, the two parents, and wakawambia, you know, you're making your situation worse, mukishinda mnatudanganya, just say the truth so that we can help you out. But they still did not say anything. They did not even budge, like to say what happened to their son. Na huyu ni mtoto wao. I wonder if ingekuwa mtoto wa mtu, because they didn't really care what happened to this child, even at that point. So each time when they were being asked, I think the police got tired, you know, kind of interrogating people for hours without getting information. So they changed their tactic. Wakaamua watawaleta wakae pamoja. At this point they were in separate rooms. They were being interrogated, the other one in the room. Kuna hiyo tactic wanakuanga nayo whereby wanakuja kwa room wanakudanganya, fulani amekuuza, ndio wewe useme ukweli, kumbe fulani hatajakuuza, kind of playing tricks with your mind. So hiyo time that trick too did not work. So wakawaleta pamoja, wakaset cameras without their knowledge, then they excused themselves, kama venye unaweza niita nitoke, not really because I had planned, but in real sense they had planned. So wakatoka. That's when now they started talking. Remember these rooms, interrogation rooms, zinakuanga na some kind of amplifiers whereby they amplify your voice. Hata ukiwhisper, your voice can be heard. So wakaanza kuongea, and you could hear Daniel Groves telling Jessica Groves, I did not tell them where we hid the body. And the lady, Jessica Groves, said, I did not either. And they kept talking, but mpaka ikakuwa evident that walitupa mtoto kwa hiyo well. And that's when the police came in, wakawa question more na wakapata answers, and they went to this particular well, because Daniel Groves alisema that 2 times akipita kwa hiyo well, dogi zake, yani dogs, zilianguka kwa hiyo well. So I'm wondering, if you went with a dog to a particular place na tasema aje ikaanguka ikaingia ndani ya hiyo nini, because it is said it is a 30 feet well. Mbona uende siku ingine na another dog if you are not planning? I don't know guys, but because that's not the story we have today. So wakaenda wakaita, by the way they called tuseme wazima moto, because the fire what wanaitwa fire nini, fire brigade, and they came, they assisted, because they didn't even know why they were being told to, you know, to do, I don't know venye walikuwa wanafanya hiyo search ndani hiyo maji, because it is a 30 feet well, kind of draining water and finding out what was inside. But now wakati waliingiza hizo machines zao trying to retrieve, waka hold on to something and they started pulling. They didn't even know what they were pulling. The fact is they found something na they were trying to pull it out, because the police were there and they were trying to retrieve something. So maybe ingekuwa kitu yenye walikuwa wanatafuta. Wakati walitoa hizo, walivuruta wakatoa nje, it was 2 crates. Like hizi za soda crates za maziwa zimeunganishwa na zikafungwa na copper wire na zikarudiwa na duct tape. So wakati zilitolewa zikaekwa kando, within minutes, let's say seconds, the smell of rotting flesh. I'm always told, not told, but I always read that the smell of a dead body, or the smell of a rotting flesh ya binadamu, wacha hizi vitu zingine tunasikianga panya na nuka sijui aje, ya binadamu, it's a very distinguished smell. It's not a smell that you are going to kufananisha na ingine. So there was this stench, a very strong stench, because it is said it is alikuwa meka hapo for a while, for a real while. So wakachukua after ime drain maji and all that, wakapeleka autopsy, wakapata actually it was a baby and it was Daniel Groves. And mtoto inasemekana alikuwa na broken ribs, multiple fractures kwa skull yake, broken limbs, broken hands, yani black eye, yani this child, na kwa system yake kulikuwa na evidence ya meth. So nashindo walichukua meth wakampea kunywa maji, because when he was in the hospital wali make sure ametoka kama ana anything kwa system yake. He is only that alikuwa na hizo zinaitwanga withdrawal something hizo. Yeah, withdrawal symptoms ndio alikuwa nazo, but not really drugs kwa system. So they actually refilled ama reignited some drugs kwa system yake. So meaning these people are not even sorry what they did to this child when he was still in the womb. They still messed up with his life when he was still alive. So guys, me na feel these people, if only they could have let Andrea Bowling akaina huyu mtoto, this child would have been fine, because Andrea had, you know, had a good heart. Alikuwa amejitolea to take care of this child. If only they could have let her do that job. So these 2 people were jailed for life, what we call life imprisonment, and they are still in there. And the son who was what? The child was 15 years, had the teenager, alienda kwa raised na the aunt. And wakati alikuja kutestify, alisema wakati alikuwa babake alikuwa anaenda kukua tested, every time the father went to the hospital, he didn't know why he always asked for his urine akienda kwa hospitali. Now you know why nilikwambia you hold the thought for the negative results kwa test zake. Ilikuwa because alikuwa anatumia urine ya the son, the Daniel Groves Jr. Ndiye alikuwa anatumia urine yake, ndio maana ilikuwa inapatikana alikuwa negative. How I don't know how what, but wacha tu nisiongee mbaya. So guys, that's the story I had for you guys today. I hope you liked it, and I hope you keep subscribing, sharing, and above all, please comment uniambie what you would like to hear from me. And above all, I love you. Bye.
Action.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda.
Zinachoma.
Asiate zinachoma. Wewe ndo unachoma. Wacha kukaa hivi. Hata sasa sioni, wewe unaona ni kama sura nipime. Okay. Vitu zingine mingi. And at a point the son ali confront the mother when he noticed.
Acha nikukatie. Unaongea ukipose yenye ni kama hauko sure na kitu unasema next.